I got my tub of supplies, gonna start getting things fused up and ready for the 4th. I'm gonna start with these. For the smaller stand, I'm just gonna do 6 skull poppers by Sunwing. And for this larger one, just 6 of the whistling deadheads. The first thing I like to do when fusing Roman candles is obviously take that paper off that covers up the fuse. And then I actually clip a little bit off of each fuse just to open them up. With both of these, I'm going to be running the pink safety fuse that burns at 1 an inch. There's multiple different options for fusing this together. Like, I could use this tape, but I find that when it's a tight area like this, the zip ties work better for me. I'm just going to use that same process on the larger one. The main difference is I've got a rubber band holding the ends of these tight, but the rubber band on that is kind of loose, so I'm just going to use a cable tie for that. I've arranged these candles to kind of be in this upside down cone shape. That way I can have a 360-degree panoramic effect. The candles I chose for this are going to be 14 of the tiki candles and then 13 of the wolf pack crackling. I just got 2 separate fuses on this, so when I light it, one side's going to go all the way down and end right here. The other side is going to go all the way down and end right here. This design is kind of similar to that last one, but instead of being flared out and shooting away from each other, I position the candles in this cone shape and they're shooting towards the middle. This is going to hold a total of 50 Roman candles, and they're all going to have a green or purple effect. I've got 12 of these green bull. I think these are just green. Then we've got 12 of these purple pearl. I think these are just purple. We've got 13 of these tiki candles. These have a purple and green effect. And then these 13 wild cards also have a purple and green effect. I fused this with 4 separate fuses, one going to each different type of candle. The only other thing I'm probably going to do to this is put some tape on the outside just as an added layer of protection, just in case one of these candles comes loose. I've tested this tube out before and I really like the effect, but I want to try a different combination of candles this time. This is going to be 23 of the whistling deadheads, and then I've also got in here 30 of the rainbow pixels, so 6 of each color. The last time I tested this out, I used a pink safety fuse that burns at 1 an inch, but I want to see what this looks like with a quicker pace. So I'm actually going to be using some quick fuse that burns at 0.1 to 0.3 seconds a foot and see if that has a better effect. For this Gumball cannon stand, I want all 7 of these to go off at relatively the same time, so I'm going to fuse these with some firework junctions and quick fuse. I really wanted to use the firework junctions for this stand, but I wasn't happy with how they were fitting on the fuse of the candle itself. It was about a 50-50, some were nice and tight, others were pretty loose, so I just switched to the small zip ties for this. Hopefully that gives me nice secure connections, and when I go to light this, all of these candles actually light and we don't have any dead spots in the sky. My process for these small bundles is pretty similar to that large tube. The main difference being these don't have a stable base, so I had to clamp the handle in my vise so I can work on it like this because this is much easier. And then I just wrap the fuse around the bundle so that way I can just start in the middle here and work my way around. These are all fused up. Each one of these holds about 30 Roman candles. This first one is going to be completely laser cats candles. And the second one is going to be the tiki candles with the comet and tail effect. This large Roman candle stand is going to have 6 rows of these small Roman candles. Each row is going to have 15 candles, and I've chose to alternate them. So this first row is going to have 8 wild cards and 7 laser cats. This next row is going to have 8 laser cats and 7 wild cards, and then so on. With these large Roman candles, each row is going to have 10 candles, and they're going to consist of 3 of the red and green deadheads, 2 of the whistling deadheads, and then 5 of the rainbow pixels, 1 of each color. For the small Roman candles, I chose the pink safety fuse, and for the large ones, I chose the green safety fuse. I'm hoping that because these are a 5-shot, and this is a slower fuse, that both candles will be done relatively the same time. When I fused this up, I left these fuses a little bit long because the initial plan was to connect these all in the middle and light it from the middle, but I feel like it'd take a little bit too much time to get to these farthest sides. So I think a better idea is going to be starting at that end with some quick fuse, run one fuse connecting all the green fuses together, and another fuse connecting all the pink fuses together. And hopefully that gives me the effect that I'm looking for. This firework rocket stand is all finished up. I just used the pink fuse and the firework junctions for this. With this design, I had to stay on one row at a time and then work my way back. I made sure to leave all the fuses long so I could fuse them together on the front like this. And then on this edge row, I left that one extra long so I could tie it into the end of each row as a backup fuse. I will admit that some of these fuses were falling out during the fusing process, so I expect to have some of these rockets that don't actually light. All right, all this stuff is fused up and ready to go. I do have a couple more things I want to fuse, but they're really super simple. Now I just got to wait for the 4th to try all this stuff out, see how good it looks. And like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.